Thanksgiving, and welcome to a very special episode of California Cooking. You know, this holiday is going to look different for most of us. Our gatherings will be smaller. You may have virtual celebrations instead of in-person ones, and despite the distance between us, it's still a time to give thanks and show our gratitude for each other. And that's what we're gonna do on today's show. Frank, Mark, and Sam are gonna be joining me to share their holiday traditions, their family recipes, and more. And then we have a really special surprise for someone who has gone above and beyond this year. She's a local teacher, and I cannot wait for you to see what we have in store for her. So let's get started. First up is my co-anchor, Frank. Frank and I have been working side by side for 7 years now, and I've learned a lot from him professionally. And our favorite thing to talk about, though, when we're off camera, is what we're having for dinner. I've had the honor to learn how to make his famous Brussels sprouts, his specialty Old Bay shrimp, but this time I got to hear about his cooking skills from his lovely wife, Elena. Here's how the Buckleys celebrate Thanksgiving. Buckleys.
Hello.
Hi, how are you guys?
We're good, how are you?
Good. Frank, I tell you this all the time. Elena is the loveliest, most beautiful woman. You just look prettier than ever. Honestly.
So do you.
You're so sweet. Now, Frank also brags about the fact that he's so good in the kitchen, but it looks like you're going to be in charge today.
I kind of am, but he actually is a better chef than I am.
Is he?
That's not true.
He is. He has more, he knows better what flavors go well together. He can mess with the recipe, whereas I have to follow it step by step. He can add stuff here and there, and I can't do that.
Okay, then, Elena, what's your favorite dish that Frank makes for you?
He makes a good chicken milanese. He made a lovely chili earlier in the pandemic. So it was delicious. Yeah, so he's got a whole bunch of them.
This, I think, is so cool because a Yorkshire pudding, Ellen, I always associate with Brits. I feel like it's something the English eat with. I always think of it maybe as like a Christmas dinner. Is that?
Yes.
So tell me about Yorkshire pudding.
Yeah, so it's mostly really with a roast beef, and a lot of people have roast beef at any time of the year, so you could even have it every Sunday. So usually you go home to your parents and you have a Sunday roast. But my grandmother used to make it every year with roast turkey at Christmas.
You having, lived in Europe, Thanksgiving was not a big holiday until you came here. But now it's a thing for you because now you live here and your kids are American and you married an American guy. What has Frank taught you about Thanksgiving?
Well, what's a little bit confusing to me is that we have to have turkey twice in a row. Because it's like in England, you have your turkey at Christmas. And then to have your turkey just a month before is all wrong. So that's why it seems like a lot of Americans have turkey for Thanksgiving and then have something completely different on Christmas Day. But that's weird to me because I need to have turkey on Christmas Day. So it's either do we have twice the turkey or no turkey? It's all a bit confusing.
I haven't taught her anything, in other words.
Was it a big holiday for you, Frank, growing up?
Yeah, it always was. And the electric knife that my father used to use to cut the turkey, I now have. So every year, at least once a year, we hear, and I cut the turkey.
What we're gonna do now, you guys, we're gonna get our pan heated because I heard this is the first step for our Yorkshire pudding.
Ladies, get your muffin tins.
Begin. You're gonna put just less than a teaspoon of oil into each little cup.
This is kind of what we do on Thanksgiving Day. Elena does a lot of this, and I just stand here
That's not true.
annoying her.
Frank mostly does the turkey. We have a lovely recipe that we use each year, and he kind of takes care of the turkey.
Do you, Frank?
Yeah.
I put my muffin tin in. What temperature, Elena?
425.
Okay.
425.
Got it.
For 10 minutes.
Okay, start the timer, 10 minutes. Let's walk us through the recipe. So our Yorkshire pudding, now is this something you've made many, many times?
I have made it many times, but not recently. So, back in the day, I did used to make more Yorkshire puddings.
Is there any pressure that it puffs properly?
No, they all have to look really wonky and weird. So it's 1 cup of flour and half a teaspoon of salt. And then you stir, well, I gotta remember, you gotta stir it together. Then you make a well in the middle.
Okay.
Next, after the well is made, you crack 3 eggs into the middle.
well?
Into the middle, yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Then we add 1 tablespoonful of milk. And then we whisk.
So that's it, just 1 tablespoon of milk?
At this point, we will add more.
Okay.
The idea is to get it into a thick, smooth batter.
Okay.
So after you've done that and it is not too lumpy, then we gradually whisk in the rest of the milk. Yeah, so then we make a nice, thin, smooth batter. Oh, I can smell it already. It smells right.
Good.
It reminds me of, England. It's so weird.
Aw. Okay, you guys, tin is done.
Let's do it.
Let's
hey,
do
let me
this.
just point this out. Elena is using these, what are these called?
Pot holders.
Pot holders that she made.
Oh my gosh, I know, she's so handy.
So we're going to pour. My memory is that we do halfway.
And I liked your description that these are supposed to look wonky. So I think
Yes.
that gives us a lot of freedom here.
Yes, it doesn't matter. And they seem to, in the oven, just, heat up into different directions.
No, the last two have been smaller.
Yeah, I will measure.
Okay, does he do this to you while you cook?
Yes.
I don't know what she's talking about.
I'm gonna put mine back in.
Right, so when they go back in for 15 minutes without opening the door. Don't open it. You're
Oh
supposed to
my
open
gosh,
it.
Frank,
15
open the
minutes. Frank, open the bloody door.
The bloody door! I opened the bloody door!
Those look amazing.
My English family will be happy.
Give me a happy. You're so pleased with your I've made
Okay.
these for you, Frank. Look at that. And then we put a little gravy from the boat.
Yeah,
Let's take a picture.
that's probably too much gravy.
As the pilgrims would say, bon appetit.
Might be much.
Mmm.
Is it good?
Mmm.
2 thumbs up from the chef. You
4
guys,
thumbs up.
thank you so much. This was the best. Happy
Thank
Thanksgiving.
you. This is so fun.
Have a great day with the family. Love you both.
Thank
Bye.
you. You too.
Bye.
Bye.
I loved cooking with those two, and that Yorkshire pudding is definitely going to be on my Thanksgiving table for years to come. Coming up, it's a Thanksgiving tradition for Sam, and it involves pie, of course. Find out where he gets his holiday dessert from every year. Then I'm getting in the kitchen with Levi, and we're making a tasty place setting for our Thanksgiving table. But first, we've heard about Mark Kriski's sausage sage stuffing for years, and now we finally get to find out how to make it. That's coming up next.
Hi guys, I'm thankful the kids are back to school, even if it's only part-time.
I'm thankful for God helping us stop coronavirus. I'm thankful for my mom and dad. I'm thankful for our safety.
And I'm thankful for health and happiness.
Happy Thanksgiving!
I have a very special place in my heart for Mark Kriski, as we all do. He was the first person I met when I started my journey at KTLA, and he's given me so much support over the years, mostly in the form of laughs. And every Thanksgiving, we hear all about his sausage sage stuffing. Well, guess what? He's finally sharing his family recipe, along with a few other traditions. Take a look.
Jessica, happy Thanksgiving, and I'm glad to be part of this. I'm going to make, you heard me talk about it before, my sausage sage stuffing. Hard to say, try and say that 3 times quickly. It's very simple, but it is delish. My sous chef, sausage sage stuffing sous chef, JG, she'll be joining us a little bit later. She got me all prepped out here. But what we do is we start out with a package and a half of sage sausage, and I'm about to cut into the celery. Now, when I do the celery, I like it a little thicker cut. I feel the pressure here. I've never done this on TV. First of all, it's got to taste good, and then it's got to look good for TV. Well, as I was saying, I like my celery a little thicker cut, my pieces, so you get a little crunch when you're biting into the sausage sage stuffing. Let me flip this a little bit here. It's coming along very nicely. Ah, the smell, if you could only smell it. Hey, yeah. This one goes in here. And then after we do the celery, we'll also do some onions. Butter is gonna be key to this whole thing. And it's Thanksgiving, so come on, we can eat a little butter, we can eat a little bit of this. It's Thanksgiving, come on, what do we care, right? I knew this was a hit when I made it one year. And then Jennifer, when I say, hey, it's your birthday, you wanna go out for dinner or what are we gonna do? She goes, nope. She goes, whatever we eat, please make your sausage sage stuffing. So even on our birthday, I cook up this stuff. Just put a little crisp on that. This is almost done now, the sausage. The onions, I'd cheat on that too. I buy the diced ones. They don't need the crunch like I was saying. I'm putting everything on the stove here. I hope I don't burn the house down, but I've never done this on TV. Jessica, you're gonna love it. Thanksgiving, of course I'm from Canada, and we do have a Canadian Thanksgiving, but I can't remember it ever being as big of a tradition as it is here in the US. We do the typical thing. I come back home, there's already a football game on. That's gonna be on, gotta have some football. And then we get the turkey in the oven. And what we did with the kids is we go out and play a little bit of football, you know, just throw around the football in the street. Our dog, Cowboy, he had to be in on the action. I gotta say, it's my favorite holiday because it's about people getting together. And one of the things too is we always say what we're thankful for. Before we eat, we have the meal, but we all go around the table and say what we're thankful for, but it's just heartfelt. And I'll throw the onions on, get a little butter on there. Oh, this is starting to smell so good. These guys are almost done. So the prep isn't that difficult. We're almost there. At this point, I think I'm good to put in my celery. Here's where I follow some of the ingredients. This basically the ingredients comes off of this pack of stuffing right there. But it calls for 1.5 cups of chicken broth, and then it calls for butter. I'll melt the butter. Not gonna use all the onions. I don't know how much it was in there, but let's say we're using about, I don't know, 1/2 cup, 3/4 of a cup of onions. Throw in the stuffing. Oh, this is it, baby. We're almost done. Oh, I gotta get the sage in there too. I'm not the fanciest of chefs, that's for sure. But in the end, it's all about how it tastes. Cut some of this up. Toss that in there. Throw in my butter. We're almost done here, folks, except for the bake time. What do you think, Jess, huh? You like that? Levi will even like it. Put a little bit of the ham in there. Put all this in here. Oven preheated at 340. An hour and a half. And then we sometimes have to put it on broil also to get a little bit of crunch on the top. And we're gonna bring in the JG to see if she likes it. All right, it's been about an hour and a half or so, and here we go. Got my cowboy oven mitts on here. Time to pull it out of the oven.
I can smell what the hubby's cooking. Is that my favorite?
Here it is.
Yummy! My stuffing.
You love it. Look at that. Nice little crunch on it.
It does not feel like the holidays without this.
How is it?
Always so good. No, you give me a lot, not a
Yeah.
little. You eat
Jennifer
a little, I eat
eats,
a lot.
yeah. She eats, yeah.
You know
little
this
bit
is my
more.
favorite.
You asked for it on your birthday.
I ask for it on anytime there's a special occasion because it is my favorite.
Voila! The Crisky sausage sage stuffing.
Or what do you say? Sausage stuffing.
Stuffing, sausage sage stuffing. That's the only way you can say it. Happy Thanksgiving!
All right, got it, Mark. The celery has to be just perfect. It was so good to see you and JG in the kitchen together, and thanks for sharing. Coming up, Levi, Ari, and I are going around our Thanksgiving table and sharing what we're grateful for this year. Then, I think this year more than ever, we are thankful for the dedication and patience of our teachers. So I'm surprising a local teacher and making her day extra special. But first, can't have Thanksgiving without pie. Sam finally taking me to the Apple Pan, his favorite, for the most delicious pie. That's coming up next.
Even in the toughest of times, we always have each other. From our family to yours. Happy Thanksgiving!
Sam Rubin Rubin. What can I say about Sam? I have loved him since the very beginning. He is so much fun to work with every day. The guy is a barrel of laughs, and I couldn't love him anymore. So, you know, everyone in the family has a job on Thanksgiving, and it's no surprise that Sam's duty involves dessert. So he took me to his go-to destination for pies, the apple pan.
Hi.
Did you just hang out in front of the apple pan?
Well,
Is
this is my old neighborhood. I do hang out in front of the apple pan. So here we are at Pico and Glendon,
Yeah.
right near Pico and Westwood.
Yes.
And there it is. And that sign, the whole place from 1947, probably the only place in LA that's, you know, virtually unchanged. They've made a few pandemic adjustments. But I can't wait.
No, Sam has been telling me about this place forever, and this is also where you get your Thanksgiving pie.
Yes.
So I got to hear all about the pie.
Okay, we can talk a lot more, but, well, you know what, before we eat,
Yeah.
let me show you around.
Okay.
I just love the graphics of it. I love their logo. I love the fonts they use. So anyway, and I always have.
Yeah.
So
But it's a small menu, that's it.
That's it. Open from 1947. The Hickory Burger invented in 1945. We have to get the Hickory Burger. And then the freshly baked pies.
Oh my gosh.
So they're...
And so this changes, right? So
Yeah, they're
going to
seasonal.
vary. Are we going to try them all?
It's really...
On any normal given day other than 2020, you'd sit inside there.
Inside, it is this wonderful, the setting is completely unchanged. It is a U-shaped setting.
Yeah.
I mean, I've come here even when it's super crowded and you never really wait that long.
Right.
And so from the pandemic, they've pivoted very successfully. This is now an order window.
But the charm remains.
The charm remains, and as you are soon to discover, the food remains. That's the most amazing thing. And then, and this is going to be completely new, they've just redone the parking lot into an outdoor patio.
Oh, fantastic.
great.
So we'll eat out there.
Yeah.
Great. Thanksgiving morning, is this where I'd find you?
I would say from when I was 10 years old, because my mom would let you go. So there's a line, and it would absolutely stretch down the street.
Wow.
Longer, you know, many people deep. Because on Thanksgiving Day and the day before, really on the Wednesday, people lining up for the pumpkin pie, absolutely for sure, and any of the other pies. They now have sort of an order system you can pre-order, but before it was whatever.
Wait, what is this story? You used to have your friends wait in line for you, so you didn't have to.
Well, my one friend Paul
Yeah.
is like a devotee, and he would come at like 6 in the morning.
Sure.
So if he's buying 8 pies, he might as well buy 10.
Oh, look at the plaid. How cute. It is really cute. Hello.
I believe this is sort of the apple pan history.
Yeah.
I believe there have been weddings here.
Are you serious?
And as there should be. But this is, this honestly reminds me of like the side yard in my house.
Yeah.
Any, you know, it's just very neighborly. I love this part. So
It takes you back.
it totally takes me back. You know, I've walked.
Sam, how many dates have you brought to the apple pan over the years? We
Oh
don't
my-
want, we're not asking you to kiss and tell, but
Oh, this would be an absolute regular date spot.
Yeah.
For sure, for anybody. All right, Jessica, this is Hector.
hi, Hector.
Hector,
how are you?
you've been here for how long?
45 years in April.
All right, and he's considered one of the new ones.
Right?
Yeah, I'm still trying to learn and be nice to customers.
Sam always talks about these burgers, Hector.
Oh, these are the greatest hamburgers. And, if I say in LA, that includes the whole world, you know. He loves the banana cream pie.
He got me.
He got
He
you.
totally got me. So these are the Hickory Burgers. How would you rate the Hickory Burger versus the steak burger?
Myself, I prefer the hickory. Obviously, the hickory flavor, it gives it a special taste that really is juicy with lettuce and cheese, and it's just a great hamburger.
And Hector, how many times do you see him in here?
Well, sometimes I just see him walking by.
It's really good. And I've never had this sauce. It's so different from anything. And you're right, the iceberg, the bun. You love to come here with the kids, right?
Well, my grandfather took me here once or twice. My dad took me here. I've come here my entire life. I've known Hector as long as all these other, you know, everybody else. And so very emotional to me to start taking my kids here. Leslie, who grew up here too, but before we were ever acquainted, she knew all about these.
The pies.
The pies.
And so you said this is this is where you grew up.
I grew up on a street called Prosser.
Yeah.
That's about 8 or 9 blocks away.
Right.
So we'd walk here or we'd, you know, take our bikes.
Do you know which kind you want?
I'm gonna do a coconut for me.
Hi, Chewy. I'm a pumpkin girl. I'm gonna go with a pumpkin, but I honestly think, Sam, we should do a taste test of all of them.
Oh. Whoa.
The joy.
That is it. Are there secret recipes with the pies? Or are they?
It's more about the technique and the process. We've got our pie maker that's been here for about 22 years, and watching him work is one of my favorite things to do.
Wow. Look at that!
This banana cream pie is amazing.
I would say I wouldn't think of a banana cream for Thanksgiving.
Right.
But why not? That is so good.
Pecan pie is my favorite pie.
Sam, this is the most fun lunch ever. Sam, since this is your old hood, I think it'd be really cute to go check out your old house where you grew up.
Sure.
Yeah?
And do you want to walk to it?
We could walk, really?
We should
walk off the 4 pies.
We can walk off the 4 pies.
Okay. Did you get enough, Sam?
I hope so.
Okay.
We'll
All right.
see.
Let's go to your house.
Okay, here we
Let's
go.
This is where little Sammy Rubin grew up?
This is where I grew up. We moved here when I was 5 until I was a senior in high school. So
Really?
I would walk to the apple pan, or we would take our bikes to the apple pan.
We could have walked, but
Right.
we're too lazy
lazy.
now. We drove, but it literally is around the corner. What a pretty street. I love you showing us this.
Oh, sure.
I've heard about the apple pan for years from Sam, and it didn't disappoint. It was so good. And you guys, the Hickory Burger fries, I know you don't have that on Thanksgiving, but you gotta try it. Thanks, Sam. Coming up, we're so grateful for our teachers every year, especially this year. And that's why I wanted to surprise a local teacher who also happens to be a KTLA fan. And I can't wait to show you that. First though, Levi, Ari, and I are sharing our family traditions. That's coming up next.